Hello, I'm Jack Curtis of Stanford, and this is the projection room where we study our game movies. Sometimes we run a play over and over again, analyzing important action like this. You can see how the slow-motion camera spotlights every detail of the play. Thanks to game movie studies like this, coaches have an opportunity to evaluate and compare their players accurately and impartially. And these film studies are the basis on which the American Football Coaches Association selects the All-America football team with the aid and sponsorship of the Eastman Kodak Company. As president of the Football Coaches Association, I'm proud of the fine young men who have earned their place on the 1961 All-American team. I'm confident you will be too after watching these official movies of our All-Americans in action.
The Eastman Kodak Company presents Kickoff point for the 1961 All-America team is College Park, Maryland, home of the Maryland Terrapins and All-America and Gary Collins. Gary's #1 camera fan is his lovely wife, Judy. Son Gary Jr., a little too young to appreciate Daddy's gridiron heroics, will treasure this picture in years to come. A senior majoring in physical education, Collins is from Williamstown, Pennsylvania. Just as college studies require concentration in the classroom, so does football. We're privileged to eavesdrop on Coach Tom Nugent as he reviews a new play with his Maryland squad.
Up front, all the blocking is designed to look like a running play, and we're gambling. We're gambling that we're going to get this man out with an aggressive type of block. We want everybody firing out. It must look like a running play. Now, this right here is the key to it all. Short yardage. And this is where we want it called. We want it in a short yardage situation. We want that other club to think we're going for it. Right after a measurement, the referee looks and he says, that much, you haven't got it. Picture a situation with a short yardage play. Everybody in the stadium says, can they make it? Will they make it? And we go for it. And as he drives in there, did he make it? The referee will dive in the pile and everyone else. But instead, Novak and Shiner and you quarterbacks, you're coming out of here with a reverse pivot, and as you always do on the power play, you're breaking deep. You still have the ball, of course. Now we're gambling that on the offside, we're releasing this fellow. That will be Gary Collins. Collins, when you are in this play, of course, the objective is to get as deep as you can. You have but one alternative, and that is, when you realize you can't beat him, make it a sweeping hook. Novak, the quarterback, good fake, back into here, and you're going to fire that ball, and we hope it'll be for 6.
Collins, playing offensive right end, applies his lessons well. Unable to go long against a sagging defense, Gary takes the alternative and button hooks for good yardage. Collins is the Atlantic Coast Conference record holder for most touchdown passes caught and most yardage gained on pass receptions. Tom Nugent calls Collins the greatest end he has ever coached and one of the greatest he has ever seen. In Maryland's mighty upsets over Penn State and Syracuse, Collins was easily the outstanding player on the field. Gary rounds out his gridiron repertoire with rib-rattling blocks, savage tackling, and a 40-yard plus punting average. For his play against Syracuse, Collins was named Lineman of the Week. Trailing by 1 point, Maryland elects to go for a 2-point conversion. In a situation such as this, you have to go with your best, and the Terps do just that, as All-America end Gary Collins snares the pass to highlight a Maryland victory. Our other All-America end, Bob Meidinger of Penn State, comes from an All-America family. Bob's dad played at Lafayette, and his brother Joe captained the 1952 Yale team. A pre-law student, Meidinger number 86, is a sort of Perry Mason of the gridiron. He never loses a case. After having been exposed to the many splendid talents of Bob Meidinger, California coach Marv Levy was lavish in lauding Bob as the greatest collegiate football player in the country. Meidinger's job is to clear the tracks for the Touchdown Express. Bring up 6 points for Penn State, thanks to All-America and Bob Meidinger. Players are selected for All-America honors by the votes of more than 500 head coaches of major colleges and universities. Bill Fay, All-America editor, tabulates the ballots and releases the team through United Press International. The balloting for the tackle positions showed Minnesota's Bobby Lee Bell a winner by a landslide. Bell's hometown is Shelby, North Carolina. He's 6'4", 225 pounds, and the fastest lineman on Minnesota's nationally ranked team. The circle pinpoints Bobby Bell as he bears down on the ball carrier, and brother, that's all she wrote. There's Bell at his defensive right tackle position. The Golden Gophers' Goliath uses his tremendous lateral pursuit to nail the ball carrier for no gain. The Golden Gophers feature one of the stingiest defenses in the nation, and the prime factor in Minnesota's miserly manner is number 78, All-America tackle, Bobby Lee Bell. Staring you right in the eye is Alabama's gift to All-America acclaim, tackle Billy Neighbors. A resident of Northport, Alabama, Neighbors, number 73, anchored the line, which has carried the Crimson Tide to the crest of national pigskin prominence. Neighbors, a 230-pound senior, shows anything but a good neighbor policy as he hand fights a blocker before dropping the ball carrier in his tracks. Coach Bear Bryant savors the way Neighbors belabors opposing linemen. Quote Mr. Bryant, "No player I've ever coached is more deserving of All-America honors than tackle Billy Neighbors." The perils of Pauline warrant as tense as the balloting for All-America guard honors. Nick Buonaconti, Notre Dame's bruising 210-pound co-captain, drew heavy support for defensive dandies that rocked Irish opposition. Moving muscle and might with a minimum of effort is a Buonaconti specialty. Number 64 opens the defense for points as Mike Lynn scampers to a TD. From Louisiana State University comes All-America guard Roy Winston. This 6' 1 inch, 225-pound Tiger Terror is from Baton Rouge. Wearing number 60, Winston blocks good like a running guard should. Roy loops around to take his man out of the play. In football, it's what's up front that counts. And, as these films point out, number 60, Louisiana State's Roy Winston, is every inch an All-America. Colorado coach Sonny Grandelius has collegiate football's finest guard in Joe Romig. Grandelius sees stars when he gazes at the rock-hard Romig, a straight-A student in physics. Romig aspires to be an astronomer. The circle encases Colorado's All-America guard, Joe Romig, who plays middle linebacker on defense. A repeat performer on our All-Star 11, Romig resembles Horatio Alger as he says, "They shall not pass." At 195 pounds, Romig is a throwback to the old-time watch charm guards. No All-America team could be complete without Lakewood, Colorado's Joe Romig. Iowa's Bill Van Buren was the center of attraction in the balloting for the All-America center position. Playing in the rugged Big Ten, Van Buren, number 50, was the Hawkeyes' finest offensive blocker. On defense, the Hawkeyes co-captain proved one of the roughest linebackers in Iowa history. Here is a classic example of fine open field tackling a la Bill Van Buren. Thanks to center Alex Kroll, happy days are here again for the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers University. Kroll is the third Pennsylvanian to be named All-America. Rutgers receives the kickoff and Kroll performs to perfection a difficult open field cross-body block. Kroll, number 51, plays the middle linebacker and captains the Scarlet Knights. In 93 years of football, Rutgers has never had a more successful campaign thanks to the play of Alex Kroll. Rutgers played Princeton in 1869 in the first intercollegiate football game. It's safe to say the Scarlet Knights have never had a more rugged performer than Alex Kroll. A superb diagnostician, Kroll calls the defensive signals and reads this play perfectly. A one-man gang who is spearheading the return of Rutgers' recognition is 1961's All-America center, Alex Kroll. In addition to those players already seen, the following linemen also rated high in the final tabulations of votes from coaches across the country. And Jerry Hillebrand, Colorado. And Greg Mather, Navy. And Hugh Campbell, Washington State. Tackle, Marshall Shirk, UCLA. Tackle, Merlin Olsen, Utah State. Guard, Mike Ingram, Ohio State. Guard, Larry Vignali, Pittsburgh. Guard, Jim Skaggs, Washington. This is Ernie Davis, the most explosive runner in collegiate football. The Syracuse superstar has been named All-America halfback for the second consecutive season. The 6'2", 210-pound senior from Elmira, New York, shattered all the rushing records set at Syracuse by the great Jimmy Brown. Davis, number 44, combines all the assets necessary in a top-flight gridiron performer. He has speed, power, and finesse. Once on the loose, he's tougher to bring down than the price of porterhouse steak. Despite the fact that Syracuse opponents constantly stack their defenses to stop Davis, Ernie still managed to lead the Orangemen in virtually all offensive statistics. Follow number 44, Ernie Davis, as he executes a perfect pass pattern, which results in a 20-yard gain for Syracuse. This is why Orange opponents always exclaim, "Save us from Davis." Ernie is through the hole in a flash, and seldom, if ever, can one man drag him down in the open. We find it much easier to throw Davis for a loss. With hardly any effort, we've managed to move the ball back some 25 yards. But alas, Davis has the final word. This boy doesn't know what it's like to quit. And as fast as you can say, Ernie Davis, he throws us for a loss to prove who's boss. This slow-motion scene presents a perfect picture of the fleet Davis thinking on his feet. With his route to the outside block, Davis cuts back sharply for a big first down. With the end zone in sight, Davis is as good as money in the bank. He deposits the ball in the end zone, and Syracuse rings up 6, courtesy of All-America halfback Ernie Davis. Ronnie Bull of the Baylor Bears drew strong recognition from coaches across the country. Bull, number 25, alternated between the halfback and fullback positions, sacrificing self-stardom for the good of the team. Taking this bull by the horns is no easy chore, and whenever the Baylor Bear went on the prowl, the boy with the ball was usually a bull named Ron. Angelo DeBirio, by virtue of Notre Dame's traditionally tough intersectional schedule, was exposed to gridiron fans and coaches from coast to coast. DeVirio, a 5'8" 165-pound scatback, was one of the most exciting ball carriers in the country. In the Irish opener against Oklahoma, DeVirio, number 44, carried 11 times for 176 yards. This was typical of a fine season-long performance by Notre Dame halfback Angelo DeVirio. Southeastern Conference coaches beat the drums hard for number 21, Jerry Stovall, Louisiana State's Orange Bowl Bengals. Not only the eyes of Texas, but the eyes of football fans all over the country were focused on our other All-America halfback, Jimmy Saxton of the nationally ranked Texas Longhorns. Saxton, number 10, runs in a style reminiscent of such great Southwestern stars as Doak Walker and Kyle Rote. Being in the right place at the right time pays big dividends in football. Jimmy is Johnny on the spot as he picks off a pass which sets up a Texas touchdown. The Longhorns' leading ground gainer, Saxton, is billed as the Texas Jackrabbit. On this play, a diving tackle by Ronnie Bull prevents Saxton from going all the way. The end zone is 67 yards away. Saxton has the ball. He's picking up speed, and with every stride, the end zone comes closer and closer. Once in the clear, nobody overhauls the pride and joy of Palestine, Texas. A senior, the Longhorns will long mourn the loss of All-America halfback Jimmy Saxton. Ohio State University proudly presents the third repeater on the All-America 11. He's fullback Bob Ferguson, a bull-necked 217-pounder from Troy, Ohio. As the Buckeyes inflame for a crucial Big Ten contest, Coach Woody Hayes knows better than anyone else that the man who must make his offense go is fullback Bob Ferguson. Whenever the Buckeyes take the field, Ferguson is always a marked man. Despite all this, battering Bob still manages to leave his mark on many a man. Buckeye boss man Woody Hayes depends on Ferguson to provide protection for the passer. Better protection couldn't be provided by a posse of Pinkerton police. Many critics describe the Ohio State offense as 3 yards in a cloud of dust. But when bulldozing Bob builds up a head of steam, it looks more like 60 yards in a swirling tornado. Presenting now, a portrait of power starring Bob Ferguson. For an encore, our hero returns, cast in the role of Mr. Touchdown USA. He's All-America fullback from Ohio State University, Bob Ferguson. Naming a number 1 quarterback poses a major problem. Bill Nelson of Southern California made West Coast rooters cheer loud and long with his spectacular pinpoint passing. In the Midwest, it was Minnesota's Sandy Stevens who drew the rave notices with towering touchdown tosses. In the South, Pat Trammell led Alabama's Crimson Tide to the top of the heap in collegiate football. Trammell, number 12, a rollout specialist, likes to run, and he gets the job done. But now, let's examine the credentials of the nation's number 1 quarterback.
Strong wing, 68 pass, wing back out. What's it?
Our quarterback is Roman Gabriel of North Carolina State University. You are witnessing a collegiate football first. Gabriel is carrying under his shoulder pads a Victorine wireless microphone. These are the sights and sounds of football from the North Carolina State-South Carolina game.
Open, strong wing, 57 split side. What's it?
Note that left end split off to the left. Beautiful handiwork by Gabriel, who proves he can run as well as throw. Option pass is good for a complete screen.
One, run a good sideline horn. 160 pass, 2 sideline, 2 horns. What's it? Good luck, gang.
Obviously, Gabriel is calling those numbers right. An ad lib after all. The enemy is over-anxious, but Gabriel gets through anyway. In 3 years of top all-around performances, Gabriel cracked the total offense record of the Atlantic Coast Conference. 6 feet 4 inches, 220 pounds. No one needs to blow Gabriel's horn. All-American in every aspect of the game is North Carolina State's quarterback, Roman Gabriel. Now our 1961 All-America team passes in review. And Gary Collins, Maryland. And Bob Meidinger, Penn State. Tackle, Billy Neighbors, Alabama. Tackle, Bobby Lee Bell, Minnesota. Guard, Joe Romick, Colorado. Guard, Roy Winston, Louisiana State. Center, Alex Kroll, Rutgers. Quarterback, Roman Gabriel, North Carolina State. Halfback, Ernie Davis, Syracuse. Halfback, Jim Saxton, Texas. Fullback, Bob Ferguson, Ohio State. And that completes the official 1961 All-America team.
That's it, fans. Our 1961 All-American football team, the 72nd in college football's oldest tradition, originated by Coach Walter Camp of Yale in 1889. Now, speaking for the Coaches Association, I'd like to say thanks to all you fans for your tremendous enthusiasm, which makes college football our most exciting sport, and also our thanks to Eastman Kodak for presenting our 1961 All-American movies.